Super Princess Peach, any percent, with new Toad Skip in 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you for the good luck, Frost. Yeah, jumping right into this run, you'll see we're going to use a whole lot of Gloom Vibe. That's what I'm doing right now to cry, and unfortunately makes Peach really sad, but it also makes her move really fast, so we're going to be doing it a lot. Unfortunately, screwed up there, didn't enter the pipe quite quick enough. I looked away, didn't realize I didn't enter it. We're moving right along still, though. That didn't cost us that much time. I'm not worried about that. We got plenty of time to bring back later. But yeah, so room like this, really long horizontal room. Just want to gloom through the whole thing. It lets us move fast. One last room like it. And we're done. Gonna be looking. Thanks for the good luck, Silver. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. It didn't even cost us more than a second and a half. That's fine. Yeah, so if instead we see slopes around us, like right here, we can use them to gain just as much speed as Gloom Vibe. So we're going to use those sometimes as well. The upside of those slopes is that you see anytime I turn any of these vibes on or off, there's a little freeze frame that happens. And if you're in a short room, sometimes it's not worth using your vibe because the freeze frame takes so long that you might as well have just walked. And so having these slopes to get these nice slope speeds kind of negates that whole drawback. But in a room like this that you're going to have a whole lot of back and forth, the benefits of running fast with Gloom definitely outweigh the downsides of the freeze frame. Plus, when you end a stage, you don't even have to deal with the freeze frames on the end. So I've been focusing a lot on Gloom Vibe. Let's talk about the other vibes. We got 3 others. Although we're going to showcase Gloom again here, because lots of Gloom. We got Joy, which you'll see a decent amount of times. It'll let us fly around and also make tornadoes to spin things, clear away sandstorms, stuff like that. Spin pinwheels. We also have Rage Vibe, which sets us on fire, which will come in handy for burning things, scaring bats, which we don't really need to do in this run anymore, but you know, it's a thing you can do. And flying hot air balloons. That's probably my favorite thing you do with Rage Vibe, is fly a hot air balloon, because it's a very clever mechanic. And the fourth one doesn't have any elemental or platforming effects, puzzle solving, none of that. It's Calm Vibe. You use Calm Vibe if you're low on health and you want to heal, which can come in handy both for casual play and if you're seeing yourself low on health in a speedrun and just want a quick safety strat, which, for those viewers that have seen some of my runs, you may have noticed I could benefit from being more willing to use Calm Vibe sometimes, because some stages you can find yourself low on health out of nowhere and just a quick heal would save you. Alright, so a really good showcase of Joy Vibe being super useful coming up. Because yeah, Gloom is for the horizontal sections, Joy is for the vertical. So right here to get some nice hops, but even more so in the next room. There's this whole platforming section you're supposed to do with some moving platforms after going up this trampoline. We can just skip that entirely and just fly. And that saves us probably I'd say 6-7 seconds at least of platforming. Unfortunate turn up there, because we need 200 coins. You see we have a little parasol buddy. Currently all we're using him for is whacking things, which is nifty, but he's a parasol. We want to use him to float around. We need a power up for that. We need to spend 200 coins to get that power. Which always blows my mind, because I'm thinking, you know, you're a parasol, you're an umbrella. Parasol's standard ability in any video game is to float around. But it's locked behind money, so we gotta make money, which unfortunately I'm a little low on right now. A little bit of a puzzle section coming up here. Not too tricky of puzzles. We see colored mushrooms, basically designating what color flower is it. So, you know, red, purple, blue, red. Got a Ferris wheel coming up here, so let's go. Red, purple, blue, and red. The next set is a little trickier though, because if you do something right, you can actually save a lot of time and vibe. So I mentioned you have your different vibes. In the top left corner under my health, you can see my vibe meter. So long as there's yellow in that, you will be able to use your vibe. You see when I'm flying right now using Joy, it drained a little bit, it emptied out a bit. I actually did a really clutch movement down there, hitting that flower without jumping on the platform it's on. It has me way ahead in movement now, so that I can catch this platform here and save on having to use Joy. So skipping freeze frames, skipping slow ascent, getting really good movement. This room is going really well. The most important thing about getting the movement in this room is it saves you vibe for a future room that we're going to try to bounce on some fish to get across the water. Right here. Unfortunately, Cheep Cheeps misbehave and it's hard to predict their movement sometimes. Like, when are they going to jump and stuff? We clutched that pretty nicely, though. We got a little pit stop in the water, but all things considered, that was really good movement. Lots of mushrooms, which is 10 coins. So each of these gold rings gives you money. If you get a turnip, you get 1. Mushrooms, 10. Flower, 30. And stars are 50, or the star can turn into a peach and give you 777. As mentioned, we want 200 coins. That's the magic first number of coins we want. Which we're not going to hit by World 2, which is a little unfortunate. We'll try to catch it as early into World 2 as possible. Boom. Alright, first boss after a nice little stylus minigame there. You're going to see plenty of stylus minigames, 1 per world, which is a nice little nifty nod to the fact that we're playing on the DS, actually making use of the touchscreen, which I really appreciate. When we get to it, there's actually a place where the microphone even gets used. But yeah, any Sunshine fans out there might recognize this big fella from good old Bianco Hills in Super Mario Sunshine, Petey Piranha. Hasn't learned from his mistakes, getting defeated the exact same way, filling up his belly with water and then jumping on the belly button. Like all other bosses, he has a phase 2. He goes into rage mode. All the bosses kind of like turn on one of the vibes that Peach has for themselves. So he goes into rage and starts hopping and stomping. Besides that, the rest of his attacks are all the same. Some rars and such. Oh, uh-oh. Gotta be a little careful here. So I've been intentionally taking damage between each hit. I accidentally took 1 hit I wasn't supposed to. But I take damage out of vibe because it skips the freeze frames from turning a vibe off. So it's worth doing to save a little bit of time with each hit. We use that for movement in general, as well as particularly in boss fights. That damage boosting really comes in handy. Alright, so unfortunately no Float Brella yet. We want to get 43 coins as soon as possible. But now not having Float Brella for this stage is going to take a little toll on our movement. This next room is probably the one that sticks out to me the most as one that having Float Brella really comes in handy. Because we're going to be jumping across paratroopas and just being able to float across them and not getting caught in the water like so is very nice. He's got to stop and use Joy a couple times there. Overall, not bad movement. I probably lost like 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds on those freeze frames though. Alright, so you saw I just saved a toad from a pink box there. Every stage has those pink boxes. You're supposed to save all 3 toads from every stage, and that is what unlocks the final boss. And historically, that has been required in any percent speedruns for years. Like, up until about a month ago, any percent took 2 hours and about 12 minutes world record time because we had to stop and save all the toads. A recent trick was discovered and shared out in our Discord that shows how you can avoid needing to save all the toads. And that saves so much time that now we get to, since we avoid all the toads, that's a whole lot of rooms we're not even seeing of the map anymore, of the game. Side note, you can see as I juggle these spinies when they hit each other in the air, they were generating some coins from me, which was really nice. But yeah, because we get to reroute the stages, skip the rooms where toad boxes are, not have to worry about Vibe to save the toads and such. We can go through stages much faster. Like, probably every stage has to be... Like, at minimum, each stage is 5 seconds quicker per toad not saved, so it's like 15 seconds for most stages. And on top of that, any routing you get to sort of adjust can save even more time. Like, there's sub-rooms you no longer have to go to. Like, for example, that previous room I used Gloom to run through. Usually I would intentionally not do so because I need Vibe in this room to spin this water wheel in order to get back to saving a toad. I'm not spinning the water wheel, I'm not going back to the room it's in. So I get to just jump straight to the end of the stage and save a lot of time just on that one toad. Probably like 20 seconds on that one toad saved, at least. Okay, now that we have 200 coins, we have to take a quick shopping pit stop and buy the much desired Floatbrella. Alright, now that we have that, we'll see how that's going to make our movement much less stressful in a lot of rooms. When we're not in Gloom Vibe, because we can't use Gloom and Floatbrella, unfortunately. Oh, nope. Nope. There we go. Oh, another thing worth mentioning. How to regain Vibe. Oh, I'm way off on these platform cycles. That's unfortunate. The two ways you have are, you saw those little blue crystals, they will refill your Vibe, or alternatively, if you find an enemy like so, you can hit down after you pick them up to scoop them and basically eat them. Like, if you look at the frames that happens, Parry opens his mouth, Parry the Parasol opens his mouth and just completely gulps the enemy. And you have more Vibe. And there you have 2-3. Really, we lost some time there due to the fact that we stopped and visited the shop at a different time. Because yeah, sometimes splits can be a little thrown off by the fact that in some runs you visit the shop right at 2-1, in other runs you visit the shop you know, at 2-3, stuff like that. So really, it's hard to fully tell how you are compared to your PB until you're done with all the shop visits. It can especially get thrown off if you get 777 coins from a Peach at the end of a goal stage and you buy your 2 Vibe Teas early. If you do that and your PB did not do that, you're essentially 30 seconds ahead of your PB all the way through until like midway through World 4. So your splits can be very confusing at times, depending on what you're comparing to and like what kind of luck you get in a specific run. Unfortunately missing the slope there because I was bouncing off enemies. Fun tech in this room. I like this. This is one of my favorite rooms. Got a piranha plant here. He's going to eat us and yeet us out like so. Got some nice movement going on with that. Until you get blocked by a Cheep Cheep. Unfortunate, but overall still a fast room. Those bats down there, you could use Rage Vibe to sort of scare them away. That would lead us to a toad. We don't need it anymore. But it's an example of a reroute or a section we get to ignore. Alright. Another nifty thing about Gloom Vibe with trampolines, you can translate Gloom Vibe's horizontal speed into vertical speed if you jump off of a trampoline properly and make a jump like that, which is super high and usually not accessible. Making movement in this room super slick. Alright, so I mentioned taking damage gets you out of Vibe without freeze frames. That's what I did there. You can also splash in water and that'll turn off your Vibe as well. Oh, jumped too far off of that shell, unfortunately. Okay, in this room, Starfy. If anyone knows Starfy from their own video game, Slash an assist trophy in Smash Bros, they can show up in that room completely randomly. Nice little Easter egg because the devs of this game also made the Starfy series. Stopping to get some extra vibes, so we're ready in the following room. Because we want to go fast, so we're just activating the gloom instantly. Let's go. I forget if I mentioned it, but if I didn't, as a friendly reminder, even in flat rooms, I'm jumping as much as I can with gloom vibe to drain the vibe meter slower. And there's 50 coins. That brings us closer to the 750 we need to buy the 2 Vibe T upgrades. Alright, so next stylus minigame here. This time we're going to be spinning a little log. There we go. If you go at full speed right at the start, you can barely skip past that first little spiny thing. If you get hit by any of these, it resets the entire minigame. The only plus of that is you can get more coins, but it's not worth the time sink of having to start this over. Yeah, so this is just a lot of free money for just going up. Like, these are coins that are impossible to miss. And we appreciate any free money we can get. Because it avoids us having to think about going out of our way to get money down the line. Alright, next boss fight. This is called Who's Woods? Well, the boss is Who the Owl. Gonna go up on the side, and rather than like whacking or jumping, we're gonna kind of poke. We're actually using the pickup animation to poke her. And that damages. My guesses of what that is for enemies that you can't pick up, the game program is that they get damaged instead of picked up. Like, you can't pick up Cheep Cheeps, for example, so if you use the scoop animation to try to pick up a Cheep Cheep, it just damages the Cheep Cheep and kills them. So my guess is bosses are programmed similarly. Well, you can't pick them up, so I guess they ought to get damaged by the scoop. Also, you saw the phase 2 there, Who sort of activates Joy Vibe and flies more. And we're just doing this infinite descent to defeat Who. And with that done, we get to skip a cutscene, which is really nice. We get to skip all the cutscenes in this game. And move on to World 3, Shriek Mansion. So talking about reroutes, this room I used to just like walk slowly without gloom before. But that's because you gotta take little pit stops. I had to stop in that door to get a toad, I had to stop in this door to get a toad, and I had to fly up to this like second room. Like there's this door up here, but there's a door below. You can see there, you had to go up to that room for a toad. We're not doing any of that. So we can just instead cry the whole way through that first room. Now if we do the movement right in this room, ooh, I got stuck on that little platform there. This might be a little too slow, I don't know, we'll see. If done right, I can catch this platform. Nope, too slow. It's very precise, so I got caught on a little block there, and that was just enough to miss the cycle. It's very tight. Alright, we got a nice little power up here. Slidebrella. So now we're going on a zip line. Whee! Let's go! This is actually a fun little fact. This Slidebrella is what inspired my sub emote, which has Peach charging forward in her Slidebrella pose. Wee! Indeed, Vicino. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Probably gonna lose a little bit of time because I messed up the platforming there. Yeah, just a smidge. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So I guess while we're kind of trekking through World 3 here, we can go a little bit. I mentioned cutscenes we're skipping. After every boss fight, you might see a very quick glance of it. We kind of are... You going good? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear you're doing good. We kind of take a quick pit stop at a campfire. Perry's taking a nap, and Peach is sort of poking a stick at the fire. Just chilling, you know? Okay, I used Vibe there. I usually don't, so we have to sort of adjust here. Nah, we're not resetting. This is the run. This is the run, Maria. How's it going? Oh, we got to light torches. Side note here. You light these torches with your Rage Vibe. So here's actually a place we actually are using Rage Vibe. to set things on fire, which is exciting because with the new route, we definitely use a lot less fire. So glad we still get to showcase it. But yeah, so with those Perry cutscenes, you basically get backstory of who Perry is. It's kind of unclear. Speaking of T, talking about T? I don't know I was talking about T. Oh, slowed down a little bit there, unfortunately. With those cutscenes, you learn Perry is like some guy who was like, you know, woke up from a dream or something. I have not gotten a Peach this run. No. Those jumps are tricky to get at full speed. Actually, real quick, side note, damage boost here. Oh, wait. There we go. Saves you a little bit of, gonna get vibe there. A little bit of time, no more joy freeze frames. Another damage boost to make up the platform there. A little backup if you're kind of off on the cycles. Alright, thanks for good luck. See you, J-Dude. I'll eventually get through Perry's backstory. Just give me some time. Also, you can see some of the enemies pay homage to previous games. There was a Fishinboo there from Super Mario World. Really, they bring a lot of enemies from other games. It's really funny. Alright. I tried this on a recent run, didn't go so well. There's this giant boo chasing me. He's gonna get caught in the spotlight and he's gonna get stunned and turn into a platform. If I do it right, I can actually catch him before he gets stunned. There we go. Damage boost off of him up there. You can do it even faster than that. It's really tricky though. Glad I got to showcase it though. And done. And on to 3-4, we're just speeding along through World 3 here. Alright. A visually masked room here. It's dark. Well, what lights up rooms? Fire. You could use Rage Vibe to light it up, but it's bright enough. I can just run through it with Gloom, it's fine. Followed by a maze room here. If you don't know what to do, if you pick the wrong door, it resets you. You have to start all over. But it's middle, 3 rights, and then a left. We know what we're doing. We get there nice and fast. So this room, another visually hindered room. You're meant to use Joy tornadoes to clear it out. But once again, I can see well enough. I'm just going to run through it with Gloom. So this is a room that you could choose between either using Gloom or Slopes to get across. I started with Gloom until I damage boosted out of it, and then opted to use Slope Speed the rest of the way. Whew, barely made that little slight jump. And we are going to finish this stage with some Gloom. Gotta be a little careful with the vibe. As long as we keep jumping, we won't run out though. Boom. Barely got it. No, that's not what I screw up a lot, Maria, so it's definitely probably not what happened last time. You need when are you supposed to have it? Ideally, I like getting 200 coins for Floatbrella by the end of World 1. Oh, side note here, these trampolines, I talked about getting height with Gloom Vibe. You can get massive height off these giant trampolines. Skip a couple if you do it right. Boom, just like that. Love to see it. That's really good. You can try to skip one more here. Nice. That was really good. But yeah, so ideally 200 coins by the end of World 1, but sometimes it bleeds into World 2, and that's not the end of the world. And sometime while you're in World 7, you want to get the next 750 for the 2 Vibe Teas. 250 and 500. But honestly, if you get the money before then, just buy everything ASAP. So I don't know if you might have seen him for a brief moment. I'm being chased by blindfolded boos in this room. What is a really cool concept? Like, you know, boos usually, if they're looking at you, they can't chase you. Well, if they're blindfolded, they don't know if you're looking at them or not. So they can just keep charging all they want. Okay. Gotta be a little wary of my vibe meter in this room. Because if you fall down, you have to restart the whole room. Made it. Nice. That was good movement. Good movement. All right, another dark room, but they give us enough vibe, and we can see well enough we're just going to gloom the whole way through. I just hit that bomb. If I bounce off of it properly, I can damage boost off of it. Boom. Save a little bit of freeze frames, just like that. We got a nice little fun rotating gravity room here. So yeah, Shriek Mansion pulls out a lot of fun little mix-it-up mechanics. The visually messed up with rooms, the rotating rooms, the zip line. Things start to get real interesting once you hit World 3. Fish and Boo again from Super Mario World. It's actually the only one in the entire first set of levels that's a calm Fishing Boo, which calm enemies are sleeping until you wake them up by running near them. Nice Peach Split. It's the fastest I've ever done that. Next stylus minigame we got going on here. We got some boos to be swiping. A lot of people when playing casually think you're supposed to tap the boos, but you gotta sort of scratch them like a lottery ticket. And they give you prizes like lottery tickets too. Look at that money. Don't gamble though. Like, be smart about it. Play responsibly, that's what they say. Alright, and we're at 518 coins now going into the next world. This is really good. Alright, so next boss. We're in the Boo Mansion, so the boss is going to be none other than King Boo. Gotta light some torches to defeat him. Unfortunately, bad RNG on the worst RNG possible on the first hit. So the first hit, only one torch is unlit. Unfortunately, it was the last torch I checked, so that cost me some time. Hopefully, it's the two right ones that are unlit now. Okay. Top right, that's good. Not bottom right, this is costing me a lot of time. Oh, this is the worst RNG possible. Both tops. Oh shoot, I need this vibe. Now 3 are unlit, and it looks like it's... Yep. I believe I am currently getting the slowest boss fight imaginable. So now Boo's on to phase 2. He gets real sad and starts crying. I feel bad for the guy. But also he's ruining my run with bad RNG, so I also don't feel all that bad. So we'll call it even. You have to keep going back to the chandelier to regain your vibe. The one nice thing he's doing for us are those damage boosts to save us the freeze frames of turning vibe off. But he is costing us a lot of time. That was about as slow as that boss fight could have possibly gone. Which is why it cost me 4 seconds. So yeah, here's another Perry cutscene. Learn a little bit more about Perry's backstory. So yeah, he wakes up in a field with his grandpa. I don't even know if it's his biological grandpa, just a dude he calls grandpa. But then some villain and his minion come up and attack them and steal Perry, and I believe curse him, and that's what turns him into a Parasol. And then after, you know, cursing him and stealing him from his grandpa, which, you know, that in of itself is, you know, jerk move to do, they're like, oh, what the heck, this guy's useless, and they just chuck him. Straight up just chuck him away and leave him on the side of the road, which is just plain awful. Leaving him to fend for himself, which he can't do anything, he's just an umbrella, he can't move around. Oh, sandstorm room here. You can use your joy vibe to sort of clear the sand out, or you can just tank it. But be careful, if you try to tank too hard, you can die. So you gotta be really wary of your health. Alright, still got 2 health coming into here. Oh yeah, the music pops off here. This is some good tunes. Okay, we gotta be careful. One hit and I'm dead, so let's just bounce off enemies to survive. Fortunately, a little bit of health here. Unfortunately, we're stuck with the damage noise. Oh, fun fact, this is another Toad that cannot be skipped. He straight up blocks your path. We don't have a way around him. But yeah, now we're stuck in an auto-scroller, not getting any health. But yeah, now I can try to finish Perry's story. So yeah, get stolen from his grandpa by a villain and a minion. And then just kind of chucked on the side of the road because they don't care for him enough. Merchant comes up and finds him and he's like, oh, this parasol looks like it could be something special. And, you know, picks it up and takes it with him and decides, yeah, I could make a buck off of this, and he sells it. And who else does he sell it to but good old Toadsworth. Blah, 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 blah. our good boy from Sunshine. Also, Rex is from Super Mario World here. Shoutouts to enemy crossovers from other Mario games. All the homage. Okay, we're just gonna drop. Got another minigame here. But yeah, Toadsworth buys Perry. And then one day, Bowser uses the Vibe Scepter, which is like the main weapon of this game, the motivation of villainy or whatever, to attack Peach's castle while she's out for a walk, and abducts a bunch of Toads and Mario and Luigi. And Peach comes back from the walk and is like, oh no! My entire castle's in disarray because the Vibe Scepter just kind of makes all the Toads go crazy and stuff. Oh, down the pipe. Down the pipe. And Toadsworth's like, oh no, what do we do? You're not going to go save everyone, are you? Because, you know, Toadsworth's protective of Peach and stuff, and Peach is like, no, I got to do this. You know, as any non-vocal Mario hero does, because she doesn't actually have any words in this game, because she wouldn't be the protagonist if she did have words. But yeah, Toadsworth's like, okay, fine, you're going to go? Well, take this parasol I found. I'm sure it'll come in handy. And that's how Peach gets Perry, and then Perry has these dreams, and it's like, Grandpa, I want to find you, but I gotta help Peach first. So, by the end of the game... Oh, Slidebrella, let's go! End of the game, Perry's like, I want to find you and be reunited with Grandpa, but I gotta help Peach first. And so, Perry helps Peach first. And then the game ends. And then Grandpa's never seen again. Straight up zero closure to Perry's story. Also, look at our money. We're at 664. We're almost there. Almost done collecting that coin. What are the chances? Ah, no 777. Imagine. Yeah, I guess we talk about Perry's story. Let's get a little bit... Oh, I guess I should mention, we're in Fairy Volcano. Lava Land, if you might want to call it. Lots of lava here. We actually got a lot of Gloom strats to run fast through these levels. But yeah, the main story of the game, I mentioned a little bit of it. I didn't need to hit that switch. What am I doing? Well, now that I did, I might as well just jump up. Is that Bowser has basically a vacation, a timeshare vacation spot on this place called Vibe Island, where there's rumored to be this super-powered weapon called the Vibe Scepter, which you can use to, like, I guess manipulate people's emotions and make them lose control and stuff. So Bowser makes a getaway home there, a villa, and gets a hold of the Vibe Scepter, and then he uses it to make his plan to attack Peach's castle. And it works! And then from there, that catches up with the stuff I said from Perry's story. So yeah. And now, so we're on Vibe Island, basically trying to get track of Bowser. Yo, we got 753 coins, time to go shopping. So we're going to buy Vibe Teas, which is going to give us more Vibe, which lets us use even more Joy and Gloom and such, which comes in real handy later when we need to use a lot of Vibe on lots of flight or on boss fights. It's definitely worth the time loss in the shop visit. Oh yeah, we did the trick there where you can land straight on the button rather than having to jump a little extra. Very minor time save and movement there. And back to Gloomin'. I think I mentioned using water to get out of vibes. You can use lava too. Big burn. That counts as taking damage, so that's less surprising, I suppose. There you can see my vibe meter now is much higher. It doesn't start full though anytime you enter a level. It does start full when you enter a boss, but not any other regular level. So you still are expected to fill it up yourself, but the fact that it has the extra capacity is very convenient. Another minor time save, if you ever want to go straight from one vibe into another, that basically reduces, if you go like Joy straight into Gloom instead of Joy off, Gloom off, it saves you one freeze frame because you're going straight from one vibe into another. So another minor time save to be aware of. Good movement there with Gloom. Yeah, there's really a whole lot of optimization to be had in this category now that rescuing toads is not a factor. When you had to save the toads, a lot of the vibe you gathered had to be designated towards saving toads. Since there's none of that anymore, we can focus a lot more vibe on movement, which just increases the number of areas that we can utilize Gloom Vibe in. So we get a damage boost here, nice. Just sneak through that little section a little faster. Get some nice slope speed and just bounce off of paratroopers to maintain that slope speed all the way across this room, right into the door. That looks so smooth. Little Vibe Crystal refill in that one box. Then we have to watch out for Pootaboos here. So you kind of have to back up a little bit, because if not, we'd lose our Gloom earlier than we'd want, and we'd have to move slow. Another Sandstorm room here. We're going to wait to use Gloom until after we take damage. There we go. Because we're now going to wait for the Sandstorm to damage us out of it and save on some freeze frames. So just good environmental awareness there. That was actually nifty that I used that box. I got damage boosted out from the lava, and then I hit my head on the box to sort of prevent my extra vertical movement, keeping me from getting to the pipe quicker. And almost to the end of this world. There's one more room, but it barely even counts as a room. Watch this. Door. Oh look, here's the end of the game. GG's. End of the stage. Oh, you're talking about the task, Maria? Oh yeah, that's frustrating. I mean, you can just say you're making a all toads task, because there is now a new category, which is basically the legacy 80% category, and we call it all toads. But yeah, Goddess Maria here is working on a task of Super Princess Peach. It has made the one thing I remember when she released the task for the boss fight here, which I'm going to give you guys a little bit of opportunity to start guessing. If any folks watching at home that don't know what the next boss is, if you want to take your guesses. We're tapping rocks, by the way. That's this current minigame. All my fault? It's not my fault. It's, Yam Alpacas. They're the one that found this trick. Well, guessing time is over. The boss is Wiggler! Okay, so we're actually going to wait for Wiggler to walk to the side here. And Wiggler gonna do what Wiggler like to do best, which is get mad. Alright, so we need to hope for Vibe to drop from these boulders. It did, cool. There's a really high chance that Vibe drops from it to refill your Vibe to then proceed with the boss fight, but you can get really unlucky sometimes. Okay. Oh shoot, wait, I forgot. Gotta hit this. That was too late, wasn't it? I still got him? Okay, we still flipped him, good. I actually almost missed him there because I forgot we slightly rerouted how this boss fight works. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. We can adjust to the old strats. That's okay. Actually, I don't know what to do from here. Yeah, phase 2 he gets extra angry and also puts down poison powder. Okay. There we go. So yeah, we had a new route that actually saved about like 10 seconds from the old way we used to fight this boss. Unfortunately, I screwed it up part of the way through. So we're kind of like doing a mixed version of the two movements. Yeah, just a matter of flipping him over with these plungers to make him angry, and then calming him down faster by hitting him again while he's angry. Oh wow, this is costing us a lot of time. That's an unfortunate little hiccup. Cost me 15 seconds because I messed up the route there. There's a relatively new strat. That's okay though, we're still moving on to World 5, Wavy Beach. Let's go. So if it was getting too hot for you, bring out your bathing suits. Time to chill at the beach. Let's go. Alright, so this room coming up ahead here is an example of where it's really important to have a lot of vibe. Even more so when we had to save the Toad, because we need to use a lot of Joy vibe before, but it's still going to be nice to have the extra vibe for this coming up room. First I'm going to get rid of this guy because he can be a real pain. Should have brought that trampoline, but oh well. We don't really need it. It just gives you a little extra free height. But yeah, so there's these spears coming up that you're supposed to like jump back and forth on to sort of ride all the way up. But instead we're just going to fly up. So to the left in this room, there was a Toad, but we're not getting it because we don't need to anymore. Alright. Sorry, Silver. I saw you see the message. See if I can read it. The strats found my pick too slow. How does we have to unlock the final boss? Okay. How does Toad Skip work if you have to save them to unlock? So the idea, what Toad Skip does, you still play through all the levels to get to the final boss stage, and then the game's like, oh, you have to save all the Toads, but you can't. However, there's this little dot that kind of spawns up on the map, and if you tap on it, it sort of takes you to a null level of sorts. Like the game, I don't know what the game thinks when you tap on it, but it assumes you're entering a level, and for some reason the level it picks is the final boss. You can do the same trick in Worlds 1 through 7 as well. But in those, they send you to this hybrid -1/-7 stage. So the first stage of the world, but also the 7th stage, which is a new game plus stage of the world. It's really weird. And like it has a few glitchy things that happens in it because of that whole mix-up, like music and some palettes get mixed up and such. You can use water to get out a vibe there. Bounce off the fishies, and another power-up. So a while back I mentioned that it's really cool that the stylus is used because it's a DS game. Well, the DS also has a microphone. We can use that to blow bubbles. So yeah, this game is a DS game that is proud to call itself a DS game. Okay, so we got some big chain chomps we gotta jump over. Damage boost is okay there. You can actually clear the chomp entirely and sort of damage boost on the future one, but you don't need to. Oh yeah, I'm so glad the Toad Skip trick was found. It's really convenient. Okay. Alright, Joy Vibe for puzzle solving here. You have to push a geyser down, which is one of the things that makes the least sense to me. I don't know why spinning on the top of a geyser pushes it down, but it does. So here we are. Alright. Fun little platforming in this next room. There are these little bouncy clouds. So we sort of, yeah, you have to like make sure you're on the correct angle, like the right side of the cloud to bounce the correct direction. So I jumped to the right side of the cloud to get bounced further right. Okay. Another new trick coming up here. In the next room up ahead, there are these spears you have to ride to get to like a secret shortcut in the stage. And the reason you can't just fly up there is because there is the little these little puffball things, I don't know how to describe them, that essentially prevent you from just using Joy. You can kind of see them there, but if we do a nifty little jump, you give me a second. Hang on. Okay, it's a little tricky. The trick is you have to sort of U-turn, there we go. You have to turn around before you even jump and use your momentum to kind of keep you going. And that allows you to skip riding the spear and just jump right on up there. The current world record just turns off Joy Vibe and smoothly jumps around there. It's so pretty to see when done perfectly optimal. But even getting it like 4th or 5th try like that, or whatever number of tries that was, that still is going to save me some time. Because it's saving me having to go all the way to the right, climbing up some platforms, then riding a spear all the way back. Okay. Also, in case you're wondering how moving in Subbrella works, it's a matter of like any other Mario swimming Flappy Bird mechanics. You tap A and it kind of bounces you, and then if you don't press anything, you naturally descend. So you mash A to stay up. Oh, so this is some nice peaceful swimming music. So hope you enjoy. Yeah, Perry is clearly a magical parasol. He is able to transform into a submarine with a shiny window and everything. Very convenient. Alright, we're kind of staying to the right of the screener because we want to catch this pipe the moment it spawns. Just enter immediately. And that takes us to the end of the stage. And so how much time is that going to save me? Let's see. 2 seconds. And that's with messing it up a few times. So that just gives you an idea how much time we can save if done perfectly optimally. Yeah, you can see lots more gloom going on here. Alright. Got another one with Spinies. And up ahead we're going to have more Chain Chomps, which, a quick note about them, they have an interesting property with their hitboxes that even when you're in iframes, their hitboxes are still are active and you can get pushed by them. You won't always take damage, but you can still, you know, be impacted by them per se. And we're going to see later on how that's going to potentially impact some movement. Just a little teaser there for you. Okay, let's get some gloom going and try to get some nice movement here. If we can jump across these platforms nice and fast with gloom, this will be really good. That's okay. We got caught in the water right when a wave was down low, so we didn't lose any time to freeze frames, and we got to keep moving really fast. So overall, not really hindered there. Unfortunately, yes, hindered by a Cheep Cheep. Okay, if we do this fast enough, we're going to try to catch a wave in this lower section right here. Oh, we're way behind. If you move fast enough, you can get in front of this wave, so we're kind of behind a cycle there, unfortunately. Still overall moving pretty quickly, though. Alright, one last room. I want to fill up on Vibe before I... Here we go. Now I want to try to use Gloom the rest of the way. Let's see how far I can make it. Lots of hopping. Yeah, we still got plenty of Vibe left. This is going really well. Boom. We'll take it. We'll take 2 uses of Gloom and the Vibe meter not running out at the end. I don't know if you saw how close we were to running out. Really good movement. That was a solid stage. Alright, last stage of Wavy Beach before the boss. Okay, we're gonna try to damage boost off with this little Spiny. The Lakitu ran off screen, so I kind of had to adjust and turn it off myself. That's okay though. More Chain Chomps to deal with. We just kind of hide in these pockets. And then we sort of tank this last one. Boop. All right. So I mentioned, like, you saw that really cool shortcut jump I took. We're going to take another shortcut here. This stage used to be really interesting in the previous any percent route because we were able to sort of do this little doubling back strat where we would like go forward till we got a toad or like try to take shortcuts to get to the end of the stage faster. But then we had to backtrack after sort of reaching certain places. Because like, excuse me, multitasking here. It's really cool to find shortcuts on levels, but if the game expects you to save all the toads, they're actually very hindering shortcuts. Like right here, there's a nice shortcut we can take. Up here. The problem with this shortcut is it actually skips where a toad is. Namely, if I were to drop to the left here, that pipe there takes you backwards in the level, but it takes you backwards to a toad. So if you were trying to get all the toads, you would need to go back for that. Unfortunate run out of vibe there before the end. Cut it pretty close though. I'd say overall still really fast. Yeah. All right. Now that we're halfway through the worlds, the minigames are going to start repeating. Some of these are going to start looking familiar. So back to the World 2 spinny log. But now we're dealing with spears instead of little thorny branches. The really nice thing about movement here is we can just go non-stop until this last one we have to hit the brakes. And then we can go. And Wavy Beach's boss. Any takers, any guesses of what we're going to face here? If you guessed Blooper, you would be right. This boss can be pesky because it's hard to tell the pace at which he's going to attack. Like you see, he's taking his time before his attack here. I don't know how to make him go any faster. I'm trying to stand under his tentacle to trigger him to want to attack. But he seems to sort of just do what he wants sometimes. Like, I don't know what I could have done to make him attack faster there. He just kind of was chilling. Just vibing, if you will. That's a little faster. Okay, good. And also it's nice to see when he does the slam dunk attack like that, because it goes a little faster. And kind of pretty quick to retaliate against. And sometimes when you hit all 4 tentacles, he can choose to do like a quicker ink attack before you can actually hit him. And you have to wait for a second ink attack, which can be really frustrating. So you just want to hope he goes for the longer ink attack, because that's the one you can hit him afterwards. His mouth sort of starts blinking. So let's see what he chooses to do here. Alright, that's the long one, so we can attack him. Boom. So this guy's phase 2 isn't really a phase 2, it's just a little break where he tries to heal. It doesn't happen until he's down to 1 health, though. So he uses Calm Vibe to try to heal by falling asleep and taking a nap. See, that was the short ink attack, so I couldn't attack afterwards. That's better. So here's our somewhat phase 2, nap time. We're just gonna pop the bubble with some fire, wake him back up, and get our last hit going. Alright, quick ink attack please, like the good one. Good, that was the good one, and GG. Besides the first hit and like the 1 extra ink attack, that was pretty good, I'd say. I'm happy with that. But apparently I've gotten even better before. Basically tied with PB, impressive. Impressively consistent. Alright, next world. Gleam Glacier. Okay, this first stage actually had a really big mix-up when we changed routes. Because we actually never took this low road here initially into this pipe. Because this pipe here skips all the toads and takes us straight to the end. So we couldn't take this in the previous any percent route. But because of that pipe, this stage is so short now. It's like this split, just because of this mini game at the end, we can barely not make this split be less than a minute. It's insane. So close. We just can't quite hit the sub 1 minute split there. Fun room coming up here, actually. You can see the way the layout is designed of this next room, that they intended for you to do a lot of flying through it. You can see, look at all this vibe crystals it gives you. But we're gonna opt out of that and just do a whole bunch of damage boosting instead. I wanted that extra heart thing. Oh well, not a big deal. There we go. And with all those fancy paths and just that quick pipe we just took there, we're already at the end again. So yeah, this world has some really short levels to it. Pretty slick movement overall, I'd say. I'm happy with that. Yeah, half a second slower than best. Nice, nice. Whoops. Did not mean to do that, actually. Shouldn't have vibed there. That's okay, though. Got a little bit of good speed off of it. Are going to use Gloom here for sure to do some running back and forth. This is going to make us run out of vibe, but there's enemies up ahead we can use to refill our vibe, so it works out nicely. So a little bit of awareness of vibe management. This guy right here, and we're going to grab a little more in the next room as well. Right from this guy. And now we're going to use some slopes. We have to take the high road here. We don't want to drop down. There we go. Through the door. Very briefly forgot what you do to get rid of snowmen there, but we just whack them 3 times, or alternatively you can use your rage vibe to just burn them down. We don't want to deal with the freeze frame, so the 3 nicely timed whacks is our optimal method there. Also, I've not mentioned it, but anytime I'm climbing ladders, rather than holding up to slowly climb it, you can like hold up and mash A, so Peach will constantly let go and re-grab the ladder while jumping, so it like lets you climb really fast. And when you get to the top of the ladder, you actually want to let go of up entirely, because at the top of the ladder, Peach will do like sort of get up animation. So let's see if I can demonstrate here. So here's the get up animation, or you can just jump at the top. So what you want to do is you want to mash your way up the ladder, but then let go of up at the top so the get up animation doesn't happen. But you have to hold up to do the ladder climbing, the re-grabs. So we'll try it out here with this ladder coming up. It's an auto scroll, it doesn't really affect any time, but we can still demonstrate. Whoops. There we go, you see I didn't ledge grab at the top. And done. Just another minor time save of movement to be aware of there. Good to know all your little tricks around. Lots of slopes in this room, so we're going to try to use them as best we can. There we go, that was really fast. Yeah, if you whack too fast, sometimes the snowman's hits won't trigger, so you got to be a little careful with that. Take this, and we're going to Gloom from here. Wanted to catch the platform first, but now once we did that, we're good to Gloom. Oh, unfortunately did the get up animation there. So lost a little bit of movement time. Yeah, this world has a couple of auto-scrollers to it. This is the kind of time you just kind of sit back and enjoy the ride. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a good time? I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying this run. This has been a really good run overall. Couple silly things here and there, but as we're still kind of getting back in the groove of doing these runs and plugging in an entirely new route, nothing's going to be perfect. Thanks people for being here though, y'all are awesome. I'm enjoying the chats, the lurks. Good to be around, folks. Doing a lot of trying to maintain slope momentum through some jumps here. Unfortunately, Bullet Bill's getting in the way, making it a bit of a pain. We're just gonna gloom the rest of the way, though. This is a relatively long room. You don't want to run out of vibe in it. And honestly, overall, if you can do slopes the whole way, that's preferred. But hey, if you want to get a little bit of gloom in there as well, might as well. Do with the fishies. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick little hit this switch. And I want a little bit of vibe from some Bob-ombs here. I'm gonna grab this one. You could alternatively get a knockback off of one of the Bob-ombs, and that can be really fast. Actually, I want more vibe. Can I get you vibe? Someone's vibe here? There we go. Okay. I want a little bit of vibe for this last room. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I use it, and now let's activate for the ending here. Because I don't want to run out, but I want to be able to gloom the rest of the way, you know? Still getting some time back on that split. Nice. Love to see it. All right, you got first room here. Long, arduous room. Gloom more than optimal for sure. All right, gotta do some mashing to get up through here. Oh, microphone heard me. Caught a balloon, caught a bubble blowing. More mashing, wow. Yeah, this last stage is very lengthy compared to the rest of the world. It's pretty crazy. How much it just says, let's just put the entirety of this world in the last stage. They won't see it coming. Alright, lots of slopes you can try to make plays off of in this room. It's a little tricky though. Yeah, it's really just early on slopes. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna walk along the bottom here. That works, that works. Little extra heart for good measure. And now we got a Mondo auto-scroller. So what we can talk about here, a couple things you're not going to see in this run. I mentioned you're not going to see the toads. I've been collecting mini-games in a couple of places. The mini-games are like the other feature that kind of showcase the fact that this is a DS game. So you've got a mini-game called Toad Jump. It really works a lot like an Endless Runner mobile game, but it's not endless, I guess. But it's just Toad is constantly running to the right, and there's obstacles in his way, and you blow into the mic to make Toad jump. And if you can keep blowing, he sort of flutters in the air to slow his descent, and you have to just make Toad jump over stuff and survive all the way to the end of the race course. And there's 10 levels of that. So that's the little minigame you can unlock. There's also Toad Tote. It's like a maze where you use your stylus on the bottom screen. There's Toad in a maze, like the maze is made of fire, like literal walls of fire. And you use your stylus to drag Toad through the fire maze. And if you touch a side, you lose and you're out, you gotta start over. So you just gotta carefully keep him from touching walls, bombs in the path, and little flame spinners as well. You get through 10 of those, and that's that. And the last one is Toad Shot. There's little balloons flying through the sky, like Goomba, Koopa balloons, Bowser balloons, also Mario and Luigi balloons. You just have to tap them to score points. Oops. And you have to hit like a certain goal amount of points. Alright, last room here. Exciting thing about this room, we get to see some walruses. We used to use those walruses to gain some pretty sweet height to get up to a toad. Had a trick called walrus jump. I'm getting some good time save here. Alright. Coming up on a really nasty boss fight here. Blizzaurus. I have to do some tapping. This is like World 4's minigame. But we're tapping little spiky snowballs instead of boulders. Same idea though. Also not sure what this giant snow column is, but there's a giant snow column, so that's cool. Alright, that's the end of that. Alright, so Blizzaurus. Another original boss. Like it's not a PD Piranha or a King Boo or something. This feller's deal. She runs back and forth, breathes ice, and spawns icicles. We need the icicles to drop vibes, so we're going to start by waiting to get the first drop of icicles here. Unfortunately, they're right on top of me. That's really inconvenient, actually. It's actually really inconvenient. Yikes. Yeah, that's actually got me down pretty low on health now. I'm a little scared. I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful not to die, and then also, you can see I'm low on vibe going into the next phase here. So here we go into phase 2. Start off the phase by dropping some icicles, please. Thank you. Gotta get some good vibe drops. Nice. Okay, we gotta be a little careful. Okay. Step back a little bit for a second. Let's wait for more icicles to drop. That's okay, we got more vibe here. Okay, we're gonna turn off for a second and then back on to get the last hit. There we go. Yeah, this boss is tough to get well. It involves some good vibe drop RNG and good movement as well. It's really tricky. Sup, Renegade? How you doing, buddy? Welcome, welcome. So unfortunately lost a tiny bit of time. Honestly, I had bad icicle spawns is what threw off that boss fight, but that's fine. Moving on to World 7 here. Giddy Sky, so now we're up in the clouds. Really tight jump there, you can cross that gap without stopping on the vine. It's really, really nifty. Then we're gonna bounce off a Paratroopa in here to catch a ladder on the right. I think it's a really cool trick. Boop, onto the ladder. Barely catch the top of it. And just slide like butter through that room. Love it. Okay, this is a little tricky. We can try to do a damage boost at the end here. There we go. We're not gonna save the toad, it's not worth our time. Boom, done. How much vibe do I have? Plenty, awesome. So we're just gonna avoid everything here, just fly to the top. And I want a little vibe refill, so we're gonna stop at that Bob-omb. He's worth our vibe. His vibe's worth our time, I should say. I love getting that slide kick on that little Spiny. He just barely clutched the time to sneak it in there. Get some vibe from Goombas. And one of the last unskippable toads here. And there you have it. There's that room. Alright. Now we got some scaling to do. Boop, boop. Just lots of hops and hops and hops and hops and hops and hops. And let's just hop to the top. And by hop, I mean fly. So this is a room that it's really good that you have the extra vibe teas, because you see I used all of my vibe to get to the top there. That room went really well, or that stage overall. I think I nailed all the tricks that I know of. And my splits seem to agree. Let's go. Alright, so I was talking about Chain Chomp having strange hitboxes before. Like the way they behave. They're still active even after you get hit. Let's see if I can make it work with this guy. We're gonna get hit by the Chain Chomp, and then get hit again. Didn't quite get it. Okay, we're just gonna fly then. You can get pushed at like hyper speed by the Chain Chomps and just fly to the end of this room. Didn't catch it so well this time, but that's okay. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is going to cost me some time. That is not good. Oh, there's Vibe there. Nice. It's going to cost me a lot of time, actually. Because I'm going through this room a little slow now. Not a big deal. We can still work with this. We can still work with this. What did that cost? Like 15, 20? Oh, it wasn't 20 seconds. I'm hoping for less than 20. But yeah, I was trying to use Gloom and then I just mistimed it. And fell to my death. Okay. Got our Vibe refilled though, so if we get chances to use Gloom, gotta take any opportunity we can get to go fast from here. Like so. That's good movement. Oh, is that what you're hearing right now, Bestie? What's up, Bestie? Good movement there. Didn't get messed up by Bonsai Bills. You just you saying, okay, hi Bestie, how's it going? You came in just after I made a mistake, Bestie. No. That's okay, it's okay. We're still vibing through this. Okay, we're out of vibe, that's okay. No! Oh, I knew he was there. I knew that paratrooper was there. I tried to be careful and anticipate him, it did not work. Okay, we're gonna go drop here though. Another one? Okay, let's just run through the end here. Okay, how much is that going to cost me? Let's find out. Oh wow, that is a lot of time that's costing me. Up now, that's good, that's good. That cost me a lot of time. Unfortunate. Oh geez, thank you Laws for the sub.
Lospler89 just subscribed. Yo, GL.
Thanks for the good luck. I needed to clean this up a little bit. On the back end of the run, just a little more cleaning up to do. Okay, we're gonna do this. How's it going, Laws? Okay. That's okay, we're out of vibe, but we're gonna be getting more soon anyway. A lot of damage being taken, but it's alright, we got the room for that. Laws is always tired. What happened in 7-2? I fell down 2 death pits. Very unfortunate. Look up at 230? Dang. Yup. Yup. It's okay. It's okay. Still gonna finish off strong. It's a matter of just, you know, adjusting the finale. See your message? You slept too long but you're up now? That one, Bestie? Or was there a different one? And one last little bit of gloom here for good luck, for good measure. We, not I. Oh, God, yeah. That's it, yeah. Well, morning. Glad you're up now. Oh, speaking of, I talked about there's toads you have to collect because they block your path. This is the only puzzle piece that blocks your path. Every world has a puzzle you can put together. If you know the little puzzles in Banjo-Kazooie, it's very similar to that, or in Banjo-Tooie. Just a fun little minigame on the side to do that's part of the 100% run. The earlier worlds have fewer puzzle pieces to it. Yeah, just a fun little extra thing to do when you're trying to 100% the game. That's okay, good save with the joy vibe. Moving right along. And there's also a toad that you can't skip here. This stage really likes to block your path. pretty evil. All right. Looks like we're gonna be getting some time back though, so that's good. Okay. Gonna save our vibe from here. Because we gotta use it up ahead. By up ahead, I mean right here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I did not do what I wanted to there. So I'm gonna conserve my vibe here. I'm gonna wait to use it right here and fly up because it's gonna let me skip a little bit later. I'm a little scared of how much vibe I have right now though. This is interesting. This is gonna be a risky. Am I gonna be able to make this flight? Just barely. Nice. So up here is a path that the old any percent route did not take. So I'm actually a lot less familiar with it, but I'm familiar enough that we can make it through. Yeah, we got a hot air balloon we used to never take. But now, since we want to skip where the toads are, we're taking a much faster route with this hot air balloon, which I was talking about hot air balloons a while back and how Rage 5 heats them up. I really like how that works. It looks really cool. I think it's one of the cleverest uses of vibe to like sort of solve some platforming puzzle. Okay. One last room after this, and I want to get a little bit of vibe from this guy to make sure we can make it through. So down and back up here. And then we're going to do some blind jumps across to some springs to the end. So yeah, more spring momentum from Gloom lets us skip some springs there, which is really smooth. Wait, we're not at the end yet. Why do I think I was at the end? All right. This stage also has a reroute. We used to not get to go down here to this pipe, and now we do. So let's go. Okay, we do need vibe coming out of this room because we have another vertical climb coming up. So I'm going to be stopping and grabbing some Spinies. There's a Goomba down below too I'm going to grab. There's my boy. That should be good because there's one more Goomba in the following room as well, and that should give us an sufficient amount of vibe. Oh, gotta go in the pipe though. Gotta get in the pipe though. Yeah. Yeah, so this is why we want the 2 vibe teas, because we're just gonna fly on up, and we would not have enough vibe had we not done that. Alright, another auto-scroller here. This looks really cool, because there's like this secret lower path that like you get to by doing absolutely nothing. Mario Party Luigi would be proud. Because if you press A to stay up, then you would actually get caught by the auto-scroller and reset. But yeah, from here we're basically home free in this stage. Just an auto-scroller and then one last room that we're going to gloom through and we're all set. And I guess we can start a little earlier. Anyone unfamiliar with this game want to place bets? Who could be the boss of Giddy Skies? Of Cloudlands? Okay, a little bit of vibe we're going to refill here. Sweet. That'll get us across this gap. And we're done. All right. Back to the World 1's minigame, we got trampoline time here. We're just gonna keep going up the left side the whole way. Favorite ending. You don't get up to the top from the second to last trampoline, just ricochet off the side. Alright, for those of you who didn't know, it's Kamek. We're gonna make him dizzy with joy, and then just whack him in the face. Or alternatively, we can use Rage Vibe to burn him. We get some nice quick hits. We're actually gonna get some nice convenient time save, because you saw I got my first hit before he teleported the first time. Previous runs I did not. Also his phase 2, he goes into gloom mode and starts crying. I don't know what actually changes about his attacks when he goes into gloom mode, but he's definitely crying. Also, I guess the cloud platform is gone, so there's that. So you have to fly a little more to get to him. Oh dang, he's up high. I don't like that. That's GG on that boss fight. That's going to save us a decent chunk of time. Oh yeah, it's not a toad, it's... You saved the Green Man? So we saved the Green Man. Shoutouts to the Green Man. Alright, and off to World 8, Bowser's Villa. So now it gets all spooky and Bowsery. Ooh doo 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 doo. Ooh doo 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 doo. Alright, so this is supposed to be a door labyrinth with like little side rooms that take you to the toads. We're just going to take the quickest path out, because we don't got time to save toads. Yeah, the way that World 8 is designed... Oh shoot, I didn't mean to go through back that door. The way World 8 is designed, the path to the exit is very linear. And then you have to like go way out of your way for the toads. So it makes it so that when you're just skipping all the toads, World 8 can seem to fly by a little bit. It's pretty crazy. So we have the vibe for it. We're just gonna fly up here, like so. And then going back to the rotatey rooms from the past. Obviously you guys talking about Galaga, but I'm not following, I'm sorry. But hey, enjoy talking about Galaga, I don't mind. Carry on. You verify a run? Okay. Do what you gotta do. I didn't mean right now, I just meant like in general. I got you though. So yeah, this is a really interesting auto-scroller because it's quite lengthy and it's vertical. And like other vertical auto-scrollers, from my knowledge, off the top of my head, they don't pan left and right, but this has like a left and right-itude to it. It's kind of cool. Little mix-up. The only pain is how long it is. It makes it a little stressful. It's not hard, but, you know, 1 in every 50 times you might screw it up and then you're stuck redoing all of it. Exactly, you lose all your time save. Exactly. And we don't want that to happen. Oops. Oh, we got some background noise. I think my niece seeing Peach is being excited to see Peach. Yeah, I'm teaching my niece to like Peach. Oh, I wanted to get vibe there and I missed it. That's unfortunate. Good little pit stop there for some vibe. Ladder climbing strats, as demonstrated there, didn't do the ledge grab. And so many side rooms get to be skipped. It's very convenient. Oh, let's did that unfortunately inaccurately. Just gonna climb up here. Do we need to dodge that cannon shot? Oh, good, we did. You sort of fired the wrong way anyway. Worked out. I shouldn't have jumped there. That was a mistake. Okay, I was a little sloppy, unfortunately. And I believe we had... Did we have torches like... No, we had lanterns we had to light, but not torches with blue flame. This is an extra little mechanic that they introduce on the final stage here. Final world. We're coming up on the end here, so I can start trying to tease what's going to happen at the very end. So we're going to set it up that it looks like we can enter the final boss, but Perry will say, you need to save all the toads. We're then going to kind of reset the world. And I'm going to look for this little dot, little skull to sort of spawn somewhere in between the different levels on the map. And basically I need to tap a little bit to the left of it. And if I do it right, it's going to enter me into a stage. Specifically, it's going to be the final boss. So actually, it's a little bit of RNG where the dot spawns. It's inconsistent. And it can spawn in places that can really cost you time. Like if it spawns directly next to another stage, then you can't tap it. Like where you would need to tap is also where you tap to enter a level. And then you just end up entering the level instead of going to the boss. So some RNG can actually throw off a lot of your time save at the very end of the run, so hopefully we kind of line that up and get lucky. Also gonna try to get a damage boost here. Caught the platform, nice. Nicely done. Trying to get some vibe from that. That was a pretty good fill up actually, I'm happy with it. Just gotta be a little careful with our health now, that's all. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we have to match the pose of these statues, and that's how I make sure the Thwomp doesn't see us. And we can barely make it in time to get to the door. Let us in. Boom. Barely clutched it. Just in time. Okay, there's a reverse boo there. It comes at us when we're looking at it and goes away when we look away, or stops when we look away. Okay, I'm going to be extra careful in here. Really leaning in on these bubble mechanics to survive. We're not going to use Gloom here because that's a little less control. Just finish. Okay. Another wave of torches. And yes, I'm sorry. Apologies for the low health ringing. Not a good way to end your stage. A little nerve-wracking for me. Oh, we got some health, we're fine. Stressful noises averted. And they're back. Two more stages to go. And the final boss. This first one of these two, the thing I kind of like about this stage is it's like, well, we're nearing the end. Let's just showcase Slidebrella and Subbrella one last time, I suppose. So they sneak them in real quick. So you got a Slidebrella here. And one more Subbrella too. And a friendly reminder, the microphone is what's used to blow those bubbles, which is a fun little mechanic they implemented. Alright. We got one more rotatey room to deal with. The funny thing about this rotatey room, though, I'm just going to go down here and say, heck the rotation. Just going to skip all of it. Completely irrelevant. Okay. Got some nice gloom movement in there. This stage is actually really interestingly designed in terms of how to get the toads. Like, you can't just go straight from beginning to end and get to all the toads. You have to do a little bit of doubling back to get all the toads. Do a quick damage boost there. I would like a little more vibe, actually, so I'm going to grab it from this guy. So I can do this into a gloom. There we go. And we're just going to tank a few hits to get to the end here. Actually have to be a little careful for the very end, and we're safe. I actually just grazed my forehead on that firebar. I don't know if anyone else noticed it. I almost died. Alright, one more stage. So yeah, one more auto-scroller here, then a few more things to get through, and then we have to do the boss skip trick. The toad skip trick, I mean. Which I'm just going to get quiet and focus on it because I really, in the moment, it's hard to describe anyway. But yeah, this stage is really silly what happens in it. Because we're about to end, like, once we get through this auto-scroller, we're going to enter, like, a sort of hub room with 4 doors. 3 doors take you to Toads, 1 door takes you to the end. We're just going straight to the end. No hesitation, straight to the end. Up left, let's go. There's one of the toads we're not getting, poor guy. See ya. Alright, and down this pipe. And that's the end of 8-5. That's all we do in 8-5. I love this stage. Okay, so I'm going to back out real quick and then re-enter the world. And now we're going to try to do the toad skip strat. I'm going to look for a little dot in between the worlds and then tap on it. I missed. It showed up in a really good spot and I missed. That is unfortunate. Hang on. It showed up in between Worlds 3 and 4 and I just straight up missed it. Got it. Okay. Wait, I can't drop the stylus. I need to do the rubbing now. So that time it showed up a little to the right of World 4. And I just tapped slightly to the left of it. It's really hard in the moment to describe what it is, but yeah. I did it. So just like that, because of that one skip I did to take me in here, the 30 minutes or so that I didn't have to do getting the toads paid off. Pog indeed, Maria, pog indeed. Oh shoot, buddy, come back. No cutscene skip this time, unfortunate. If you hit him fast enough, you can prevent him from like doing that little scroll screen thing. There we go, and one last hit incoming. There it is. Just as I ran out of vibe too. Clutch that. Dang, GG's. Alright, and now we have Bowser fight after the Hammer Bro fight. This guy can be a little tricky, we just gotta use Rage on him a lot. That didn't work, dang. There we go. Attack him again. Attack him again. We gotta be a little careful that we don't run out of vibe though. There we go. I didn't hit him there. That's gonna cost me some time, unfortunately. Not sure why I didn't hit him, that was weird. Also, I'm low on vibe, so I have to wait for him to hit one of these statues to give me more vibe. Can I get him to land on one of them? No. Just charge over here, buddy, come on. Okay. And last hit. There it is. Yeah, we're gonna lose a little bit of time on this final boss, unfortunately, but not too much. Actually, wow, I already... Oh, because I screwed up the cutscene skip, right? I think we can still be a minute ahead of previous PB, though. Yeah, so the final boss is also a really neat trick. I talked way back on the Who fight that we use poking eye strats to damage bosses. We can use that on the final Bowser to skip how you're supposed to... Oh, shoot. Hang on. Time to skip the intended way of killing him. So still a minute ahead. So that's a new PB of a minute. Thanks, J-Dude. Thanks, everyone. So that is a minute PB with still some big mistakes here and there. And keep in mind, this is also 30-40 minutes faster than the original any percent route. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. So, world record is actually a little faster than this. GGs indeed. Oh, Peach. Sorry. Can't lose the princess. Let me confirm. This is a new PB. And overall, I'm happy with this run. And I also like that there are very clear places to show where I can save time. 136.15. World record is 136.16. 136.55, 136.16. Yeah. So the 30 seconds lost from just getting into the boss fight would have brought me really close to PB. And on top of that, the fact that I screwed up the Wiggler fight, I lost 30 seconds in a level. We can close it in on we can close in on world record. Give J-Dude a run for his money. But overall, more so about me having world record, the more thing I care about more is the fact that we got community invested in it, and as a community we've done so much to this game. I love it. I love chatting with folks in the Discord. I love when someone shares a new strat. I love trying new things other folks share, sharing a few things of my own. The next big thing that we need to do as a community is start coming up with ILs. We recently added ILs to leaderboards to the SO.com page. They're going to come in handy for people to have references to compare to when doing runs. So those would be cool to have. But yeah, so this is really cool. I love that I get people interested in watching this. I really do appreciate it. Y'all are awesome, because this is like a really niche, random DS game that Nintendo doesn't, care about that much. But, especially now that we found a new trick, we got a group of people that cares enough about it that they want to watch it, see some see how this game can get more and more solidified. And who knows how far we can bring this down. I mean, my sum of best claimed is a lot more we can save, so there's that. Let's have a few ancient things on YouTube. Yeah, Maria's working on a TAS, although it currently is doing all toads. So it was doing the original 90% route, but that got switched up a bit. But yeah. I'm going to step away for a second. I'm probably going to cut stream. There's a slight chance I don't, so I'm going to do a quick BRB. You guys can enjoy this the end screen, I suppose. I'll be back in a little bit. But yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching. Y'all are awesome. See ya at the very least to say goodbye.